Welcome back. Umineko. Here we are again. Let's do it. Let's get right back in there. Alright. Aunt Natsuhi didn't tell them to leave with her own words. Alright, we're just coming off of the gunpoint scene, which was my favorite scene so far in the whole story. Fantastic. Um but yeah, I don't know what the aftermath was. But with wordless pressure, she induced them to say that themselves. Because if Dr. Nanjo didn't say those words, this cold silence would surely continue forever.
落ち着きなさい、ナスヒさん。だが気持ちはよくわかる。わしだって今朝からの異常な事件続きで頭がどうかなってしまいそうだ。だからわしらを疑いたい気持ちもよくわかる。
もし本当に南條先生が無関係なら、私は無礼極まりないことをしているのだと思います。
Yeah.
今だけは分かってください。
I get where she's coming from, though. I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do, you know?
わかった。わしらは部屋を出ましょう。どうですかな、源氏さん。
Alright, they're
客
gonna
間に戻っ
leave.
てチェスの続きといきませんかな。
それをお望みでしたらぜひ。
私は嫌ですよ。だってこの中に狼がいると分かってて部屋から追い出されてしまうんですよ。
If I had to pick one person I suspect most from the group, Kumasawa is definitely it. 100%. Like, no questions. I don't know. I don't know why. And that's weird coming off of, like, realizing during the canon death scene that she had that inner monologue where she was like, if I had come down with him, I'd be dead now. So it doesn't make sense. But for some reason, I know I suspected her a lot at the start of the story. But just the way she's acting, it's like, uh, I feel like she's gonna, like, that scared mouth is gonna turn into a wry smile at some point, and she's gonna be like, "Hey, you fell into my plan, my master evil plan." I don't know why. That's just how I feel.
嫌ですよ奥様。どうかお許しください。
It was obvious what Kumasawa-san was trying to say. If she was innocent, then she was being ejected into a dangerous territory along with the culprit. Yeah, yeah. In the current situation, urging her to leave this room along with the suspects was almost exactly the same as letting her get killed. However, Kumasawa-san really was suspicious just for being the first one to discover that Ken-kun had been murdered. Alright, if they're gonna call her out and say she's suspicious, that makes her less suspicious in my mind. And I'm sure my prediction's gonna look just completely, utterly awful. But that's okay. That's what we do here in Umineko world. We make wrong predictions. At that time, everyone except Kumasawa-san had an alibi. Unless we could prove the existence of some contraption, or the existence of some 19th person, Kumasawa-san was by far the most likely suspect. I didn't want to believe it. However, Aunt Natsuhi and the rest of us were in such a difficult situation that we couldn't help suspecting her as well. So we didn't say anything to stop Aunt Natsuhi from trying to oppressively chase them from the room. I mean, yeah, if you put your life first, that's It's the most reasonable action to take. We'd stopped her from shooting, but we were passively agreeing to chase the others out of the room. On top of that, Maria spoke to the fretful Kumasawa-san.
大丈夫だよ。ベアトリーチェは敬う人には優しいから。
She gonna say we'll get resurrected in the end?
熊沢さんはベアトリーチェがいるって信じてるもん。だからきっと大丈夫だよ。マリアは客間でテレビを見るよ。一緒に見ようよ。ここテレビがなくてつまんないもん。
Who are you, Maria? Who are you? Just, I don't even know. It looked like Kumasawa found Maria's roguish laugh very frightening. However, the three other people had agreed to leave the room. Kumasawa couldn't fight the flow and had to agree, crying as she went.
それでは夏日さん、今夜はこれで。また明日お会いしましょう。
I don't know what's going to happen at this point. I have no idea. I've given predictions many times for things in this game. I don't know where we're going at this point. I really don't.
今夜だけは分かってください。
No.
警察が来たら全員に今夜のこの無礼を必ず謝罪しますから。
Oh.
チェスもよろしいでしょうか。できたら安全なところに。現地頼みます。
かしこまりました。
仕方ありませんね。
That's a weird thing to say.
小連れの熊が一番恐ろしいと言いますから。
源氏も熊沢も本当に申し訳ありません。また明日お会いしましょう。
Okay.
マリアちゃんも。
That's... It's so, like... I don't know. They haven't really been, like, really talking about Maria's just utterly weird behavior most of the time. So that's, like, since this all started, they haven't brought it up as much as I thought they would. So it's kind of... The fact that Natsuhi is forcing Maria out of the room in, like, the game's text, in other words, basically to be murdered, is interesting. Because they haven't brought up how strange Maria's behavior has been. And Maria is a child. Like, in any other situation, this would be, you know, just completely unforgivable. But we've seen what Maria is like. We know she's got some weird shit going on. So this makes sense. This makes complete sense. But they haven't exactly acted as such thus far, as far as, like, questioning Maria and her weirdness. I don't know how to describe it. Like, I don't know if that was weird, but yeah, I mean, it's interesting to see that this is happening.
冷たいおばさんをどうか許して。
マリアは許す。
Not that she cares. Yeah, she doesn't give two shits. This is completely unrelated to how Maria feels about the situation.
奥様、この部屋の鍵です。2本すべてをお預けします。
Okay. Genji-san pulls the 2 golden keys from his pocket and handed them to Natsuhi.
それから 私が持っているお屋敷内の鍵束もお預けいたします。
He took out a bundle of the 10 keys of various shapes and handed it over. To the servants, those keys were probably proof of their position. Being placed in charge of those keys meant they were trusted, relied upon. When they were forced to return them, it meant they had lost that trust. Thinking about it this way, to Genji-san, who had worked here for a span of many years, there could be no greater shame. However, Genji-san's usual indifferent expression remained on his face.
源氏、私はお前をお父様がお亡くなりになったら長年の苦労をねぎらって退職を許すつもりでいました。なのにこのような仕打ちを。私は心より恥じます。
私は親方様より今日までの日々はそれに対するご恩返しの日々であっただけです。どうかお気にやまれませんよ。
それでは参りますかな、皆さん。おやすみなさい。
This Maria thing is just bizarre. It's so bizarre.
おやすみ。バトラもおやすみ。
Didn't hear her say battler in that line.
あ、マリア、ちょっと待て。
Oh, maybe just because he was there, she said, like, good night to you or something. Knowledge of guilt made me call Maria back. I groped around inside my pocket and took out that scorpion keychain.
これ魔除けなんだろ。
Oh.
身につけとけ。
おお、バトラ、確か落としてなくしたって。
あん時はなんか尺になってなくしたとかほら吹いただけだ。お前の大切なお守りをなくすわけねえだろ。
Maria silently took the charm. I was unable to say anything after that.
それでは皆様おやすみなさいませ。
We watched them leave, our expressions completely worn out, and we weren't even able to respond. Where do we go from here? Until the doors closed and we heard the auto lock. We were unable to breathe. Then we were finally allowed to take a breath. After that, I noticed that Beatrice's letter, which I had been gripping the whole time, and which was soaked with my sweat, actually had 2 sheets. Oh? The paper had been tightly stuck together, so I had mistakenly thought that there was only one. There were no characters on the second sheet. Oh, another blood symbol. The Triforce, apparently. The thing drawn there was a magic circle, written with a red ink, like blood. Just how every magic circle up until then had been different, this magic circle was one I'd never laid eyes upon before. Inside the circle, a large triangle and a small triangle were fit together in a simple design. But just as before, there was writing in Hebrew, and it seemed clear that this held some kind of meaning. I wanted to know what that could be, but yeah, we had just chased Maria, the only person who could understand the meaning of the magic circles, out of the room. I thought of this magic circle as Beatrice's second message. What does this magic circle mean? Damn it. After chasing out all the suspicious people, All we had to do was stay barricaded here until morning, and everything would probably be over. Yeah, fat chance. Once the typhoon had passed, when the seagulls cry, will everything be resolved? Uh, but the letter, which had unexpectedly appeared in the study, forced us to reject that naivety. Naivety, not naivety. It had made it very clear that if time ran out, it would mean the witch's victory. When time runs out, is the witch's planning to take on the offensive. This time, is she planning to display some fearful magical power? Maybe something that could be used to kill 6 adults at once. Wait, when is time supposed to run out anyway? I don't know anything. Huh?
これでもう安全です。もう
Man, if the traitor turns out to be someone in the room, we got George, Jessica, Natsuhi. It's not Natsuhi. It's not Natsuhi. If it's Natsuhi, I'm gonna rip my dick off. Like, I don't even care. George and Jessica are in the room. There's no way, right? There's no way. I'm gonna be proven so wrong or something. Like, I don't even know where to go from here.
絶対に
Even as she said that, Aunt Natsuhi couldn't stop gripping that rifle. There was no release in the tension of her expression. Of course, none of us felt like breathing a sigh of relief. At least not until we could hear the cry of the seagulls once more. Alright. We're moving on. 11 o'clock? 12? 12 o'clock? No, 11:30. Okay. Alright. What happened? What's going on? Okay. After we chased them out, nobody wanted to say anything. I didn't miss something, right? Like, I clicked because I thought nothing was happening, but there was like a really quick sound clip. Hopefully I didn't miss anything. Someone will definitely tell me if I did. All of these suspicious ones have been driven away. Even though we knew there might be some innocence among them, we still did it. We chased them out of this paradise, where people don't have to suspect each other. But our motive for chasing them out was suspicion of one person towards another. The worst kind of crime for a human. If we accepted the existence of a 19th person, of the witch, then we might all still be talking face to face, trusting in each other. In that instant, we had agreed to chase out all of the suspicious people. But had that been the right thing to do? During this endless silence, we could do nothing but be quietly tormented by that sin. Aunt Natsuhi faced the door without letting go of her rifle for even an instant, sitting far back in the sofa. She would probably spend the night staring at that door without a wink of sleep. Word episode 1, I feel so bad for these characters. Like, George Anarchy gazed through a gap in the closed curtains by the window, looking down at the courtyard and the mansion that surrounded it. I didn't know whether he was checking to see if a suspicious shadow would become visible through the window. or whether he was wondering to himself about something. Jessica was sitting sideways on the sofa next to Natsuki, with a dead expression on her face. And every once in a while, as though she'd just remembered something, she'd take out the inhaler she used during her asthma attack and stick it in her mouth. Yeah, I just heard it from Aniki, but apparently Jessica liked Canon. Really? Really? That is surprising. It was apparently so vague that she hadn't realized it herself. She didn't realize it until he died, I guess. You know, it's the kind of thing other people tend to spot before the person in question realizes it. Which means she might have first learned of her feelings when the person she liked died. It must have been so terrible, so sad. Come to think of it, Kenningoon was the one who handed her that inhaler. Maybe she was remembering that. I was fishing around Grandfather's study, thinking I'd research the meaning of the magic circle on the letter's second sheet, even though we were shut up in here in a defensive position. My rebellious nature made me want to find some key, some way to resist. After all, we've got plenty of time before tomorrow morning. Who could fault me now? Who could fault me for how I used that time? No one else showed that much interest in this magic circle. Its meaning was unknown, and once we understood it, we were sure to find some message that would cause us unnecessary anguish. I felt the same way. However, I couldn't just ignore it, so I killed time by going through the motions of researching it.
熱心だね。何か手がかりになるようなことは見つけられたかい？
さっぱりさ。そもそも日本語で書かれた本を探すことからして骨だぜ。じいさまは一体何カ国語を読めたってんだ。大したもんだぜ。
バトラ君は眠くないの？誰かが起きていてくれてるうちに休んだ方がいいよ。夏日おばさんは寝ズバンをしてくれると言ってるけど、体が持つわけない。ローテーションで休んだ方がいいよ。
I don't think she's gonna give up the rifle. I'd be surprised if she did, like to someone else.
じゃあ兄貴が先に休めよ。俺は眠気が来るまでちょいと調べ物をしてるさ。
さっきの魔法陣？
どうせ時間は腐るほどあるさ。ベアトリーチェ様がどういうメッセージを込めやがったのか面白そうだと思ってよ。
よせよ。
She's done with all this. She's just like,
そういうのやってると妙なのに取りつかれちまうぜ。
yeah.
安心しろよ。俺はマリアにお墨付きをもらってるぜ。俺には霊的才能はからっきしなんだとよ。
マリアのこと邪険にしすぎたかな。
To that question, I would say no. Definitely not. I mean, not if you've seen everything that we've seen. I don't think Battler should say we were.
ジェシカ、今はそれを考えてはなりません。
でも母さん、もしもマリアが無関係で犯人が他にいたなら、犯人は襲いやすい相手を狙うに決まってる。それで殺されたなら、私たちは見殺しにしたことになるよ。
I get the sentiment, but she has been insane. Like, let's be real here. She has been insane. I don't know. The gloomy silence settled once again. It looked like Jessica regretted letting her emotions take hold of her and snapping at Maria. She's always been like that. Always acting tough and regretting it later.
気持ちはわかりますが、マリアは犯人と接触し、こともあろうか、その肩を持つように煙に巻く発言を繰り返しています。私はこの部屋から追い出せて清々しています。
夏日おばさんって結構きついっすね。
It's harsh, but it's true.
9歳の女の子のザレ言かもしれないじゃないっすか。
It goes a bit further than that, I think. It probably wasn't very convincing to hear that coming from me. I myself thought Maria was creepy on several occasions, even doubting her true nature. And when Maria was chased out of this room, I couldn't deny I felt some relief.
もしそうだったなら、明日謝罪します。彼らをこの部屋から追い出したのは全て私の責任です。だからあなたたちが気に病むことはないのです。
I could feel a tragic determination in Aunt Natsuki's voice. To protect her own daughter, she had resolutely chased out the suspicious ones. And if, as a result, she had to watch the people who had unfortunately had been suspected die, so be it. She was prepared to take full responsibility.
なんでマリアってあんなことばかり言うんだよ。自分で自分の首を絞めてるぜ。
She's connected somehow. I mean, come on, let's be real. She's connected somehow.
もともとマリアちゃんが魔女や魔法に傾倒するようになったのは、
It feels like she's the only one in the story who has had contact with Beatrice. It's more than just adoration. She's the only one who's had like actual real like a real connection with Beatrice.
僕はローザおばさんのせいじゃないかと思ってる。
What do you mean by that?
ローザおばさんのせい？何がどう関係してるってんだよ。
Right. What?
バトラ君だって気づいてるんじゃないかい。マリアちゃんの本当の父親はずいぶん昔に蒸発してるんだ。おばさんはそれを海外出張とか言ってごまかしているけどね。
Ran off?
後ろ宮家ではローザさんたちに関わる話はタブーとされているところがあります。
おばさんは再婚だって考えたと思うよ。でもマリアちゃんの存在が枷になって非常に難しかったんじゃないかと思うんだ。だっておばさんは時折ものすごく感情的にマリアちゃんに当たっていたから。
Oh, don't make it about that. Oh, fuck.
それについては同感だぜ。ローザおばさんはマリアを好きになろうと努力してるように見えた。
You shouldn't have to try hard to like your daughter.
ってことはつまり好きじゃないってことなんだよな。
Oh.
再婚の妨げになっているマリアに思うところがあったんだろうよ。
母親の感情的な拒絶がきっと彼女の幼い心に深い傷を残したと思うんだ。
I sympathized a lot with Maria during the Rose slapping scene. And then she kind of went crazy and I stopped sympathizing with her. But this is kind of getting me to feel away again.
そしてどこかでオカルト趣味と出会い、心の隙間を埋めるように没頭していく。知ってるかい？マリアちゃんにとって 魔女のイメージは決してネガティブなものじゃないんだよ。ほら、昨日海岸でマリアちゃんのノートを見せてもらわなかったかい？
ああ、なんだか楽しそうな落書きでいっぱいだったぜ。
Yesterday, when we were down by the beach doubting the witch, Maria got all riled up and started explaining about witches. And not one of the pages had shown a picture of an ugly witch. They were all brightly colored, beautiful, cute witches who looked like they were having fun. There was absolutely nothing sinister about them, like a boy might have imagined. They were being adorned with beautiful dresses, who could grant anyone's dreams with their mysterious magic, who made everyone happy. The sorrow of not being loved by her mother. Had Maria sought help from witches as beings who could give her happiness and save her? Someday a witch would come and using her wonderful magic would bring Maria happiness. Even though she believed that as she grew I can't even talk right now. As she grew older, she had to face reality, as her fleeting dreams were sliced to ribbons one by one. Man, I feel like this. Aunt Ava is the only one in this entire game where I haven't been able to, like, really sympathize with. Because she's been a dick, like, in every scene where she wasn't neutral. Everyone's got a sympathetic side. If something claiming to be the witch of Rakanjima appeared in front of the girl like that, whispering that she'd take Maria to the Golden Land where Maria could be happy.
僕は今頃になって胸中を告白するよ。マリアちゃんを、いや、源氏さんたちを追い出したのは、
Okay.
多分いけないことだったんじゃないかな。
I have mixed feelings about that. I mean, it feels like it's written, so you should have of course you should have mixed feelings about this. But I think in the situation, it was the most sensible thing to do, even if none of them turn out to be any kind of culprit. With the information that Natsuki had, it was the right thing to do.
気まずくはあるぜ。
Since Jessica had been the one to face them and slam them with words of rejection, her conscience must be tormenting her a lot right now.
なら皆さんはあの手紙をどう説明するのですか？私の後ろにいた4人以外の誰にも置くことはできなかった。
I guess as soon as you accept that magic is a thing in this world, as soon as you start to realize that, then the letter appearing on the table becomes plausible without anyone being at fault. But I don't know if that's the case, like, here. But, yeah.
それは私がこの目ではっきり確認しています。あの4人が潔白だというなら、どうやってこの密室の8人もの人間がいる中で手紙を置けたというのですか？
そうなんだよ。その話が始まっちまうと、確かに4人は怪しいってことになっちまう。だが
Unless Natsuki placed it herself. But, like I said, no way.
ダメなんだ。 全然ダメだぜ。
ダメって何がだい？
ああ、もう今さら何の役にも立たないかもしれねえが、またチェス盤をひっくり返させてくれ。
Okay.
つまりあの4人が本当に犯人だってんならよ、おかしいんだよ。
I feel like Balor's about to like come out with maybe it was Natsuki, but no, that's not coming, right? I mean, the obvious explanation is that magic is real. Witches are real, right?
そうだぜ。あんなテーブルの上に堂々と置いたら、この中に犯人がいますよと告白するようなもんじゃねえか。そうだよ。おかしい。やるなら、例えば扉の隙間に置いて廊下側から差し込まれたように見せかけるとか。そうだよ。部屋の外に犯人がいるように見せかけなきゃ自分が疑われてしまうことが分かってたはず。
ああ、そういうことなんだ。あの4人の中に犯人がいたとして、テーブルのど真ん中に手紙をポンと置くことはリスクばかりで。だがどうやってそこに手紙を置いたかのトリックは置いといて、あの4人以外の誰か、すなわちこの部屋の外に犯人がいたと仮定したとき、
Okay, so he's not trying to say maybe it was Natsuki. He's trying to say, like what I
あの手
expect.
紙には大きな意味が生まれる。
よしなさいバトラ君。今さら些細な問題です。
That's kind of true. You guys have already ejected them from the room. Natsuhi-san quickly guessed what I was getting at. No, maybe she had thought of it long before I had, and had simply held her tongue.
この部屋の外に犯人がいて、俺たちが外からは手出しをできない密室に立てこもっちまったらお手上げだ。ああ、そうだよ。この部屋からじい様がいなくなったって話の時、俺が披露した説じゃねえか。じい様が自分から出ていくという説。自分から出ていくような何かの細工を犯人がして、まんまと外へおびき出していたのだとしたら。
Come to think of it, we found the scorpion magic circle on the doorknob to the study. Maria said it herself. Beatrice couldn't get through this door, but she could induce someone to leave of their own accord. What does that?
だとすると、私たちは犯人の罠に見事はまって、新しい生贄候補を送り出しちまったことになるぜ。
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that would be the implication.
源氏たちもバカではありません。身を守ろうと思うなら、この部屋の次に安全な場所をすぐにそこできっと身を潜めています。
Aunt Natsuhi hadn't answered the question. Aunt Natsuhi herself had realized that if the culprit wasn't in our group back then, that letter would make sense as a trap. However, it wasn't worth the risk of calling back the people she had once thrown out. To Aunt Natsuhi right now, her greatest and only duty was to protect the children. I'm siding with Aunt Natsuhi. I mean, I get that she's probably wrong. I understand that, but like, if you think about the greater good, and I just think it was probably the right thing to do, even if she turns out to be wrong. The Maria thing, yeah, well, I talked about that earlier in the episode. It's fine. By her thinking, in order to do that, a few sacrifices were unavoidable.
なあ、夏日おばさん、きついこと聞くぜ。もしあの時、たまたまジェシカもおばさんの後ろにいたなら。
That is a good question.
おばさんはこの部屋からジェシカも追い出してたかい？
Don't even answer it. Like, what kind of answer can you give?
確かに残酷なところはあったかもしれない。でも夏日おばさんは母として娘を守りきろうと思った。その責務から自分がやがては糾弾されることを覚悟で彼らを追放。俺は別にそれを責めてえわけじゃねえ。ただジェシカはいいお袋を持ったなってそう思ったのさ。
そうだね。夏日おばさんは朝からずっと続いているこんな事件の中でも冷静さを失わず、ずっとみんなを牽引してきてくれた。
I'm completely down for some Natsuhi praise.
もしおばさんまで混乱していたら、僕たちは今頃全員犯人の手にかかっていたかもしれない。だから僕たちはおばさんに感謝しなくちゃいけないと思う。
ありがと
う。バトラたちの言いたいことは、つまりマリアの母でもあってほしいって。
Is that what they were implying? It's an interesting thought.
私、マリアのことを実の妹みたいだとずっと思って可愛がってきた。
It's such a troubling situation because she's so much acting like the person closest to Beatrice. Like, if she was even 10% less suspicious, I'd be all down for it. And I'd say, yeah, we need to, do something about Maria. But she is so, like, they're drilling it in your head that she's so, like, just turned to the other side in a way. So, I don't know. I don't know.
なのに、いろんなことがあって、ちょっと混乱しちゃって、ひどいことをたくさん言って傷つけてしまった。母さん、お願いだよ。
How do you even get her back?
マリアも、みんなも一緒にいようよ。
Everyone? Really?
私たちの中に犯人なんていなかったんだよ。
I think this is the wrong decision. I really do.
この事件の犯人は
Beatrice?
魔女のベアトリーチェでいいじゃないか。
Beatrice.
だからもう疑い合うのはやめようよ。
I think this entire line of dialogue is going to lead to our gouge the stomach and kill, gouge the knee and kill, gouge the leg and kill. I can't help but think it. I'm sorry. I can't help but think that. Aunt Natsuhi closed her eyes for a short while. Was she coping with the throbbing headache again, or was she thinking of something?
ジェシカは
Jessica.
主人と結婚してから12年もかけてようやく授かった大切な娘です。
Maybe she'll say, like, I wouldn't sacrifice anything if it means your safety, so I refuse to do that.
私はジェシカを守るためなら
I think that's what she's getting
ど
at
のよ
here.
うな鬼にでもなります。
Even if it means Maria's death, she's going to protect her daughter. That was some pretty strong language at the end there. She realized very well that her words were an idealized view of what a mother should be. But even so, she was strongly resolved to protect her daughter, even if she had to become a demon. But that was her guilty conscience tormenting her. Today's been so long. So many things happened in one day, and we've been driven into a corner so thoroughly. Hell yeah, so many things have happened today. Oh my god. I started recording again after a year when this day started. Before anyone had been killed, I cannot believe how much shit has gone down in this day. I wonder if we have the right to greet tomorrow the way we are now. There it is.
見つけた。
Found what?
この魔法陣だ。
Oh, you in the book? Inside the book I've been flipping through, I found the same magic circle that had been drawn on the second sheet of the letter. George Aniki peered at it as well. This magic circle's name was the Third Magic Circle of Mars. The Hebrew written on it was Psalm 77, verse 13 of the Old Testament. Well, God is so great as our God. The meaning of the magic circle was discord. Agitate internal divisions and cause the enemy to bring about their own downfall. Oh, well, that's very reminiscent of what's going on here. What the topic of conversation.
おいおい。
But how could Beatrice have foreseen that they wouldn't have realized the second page? Or is that's what the okay. Never mind. That's what the magic circle caused. So you can almost maybe see the Natsuhi's choice to eject the other four as like a magical, like, if the magic circle caused that, that's interesting.
マジかよ。
Could there be a more fitting way to describe our current situation and mental state? Exactly. We couldn't help but be stunned into silence.
じゃあこの手紙は罠だってのかよ。
Or I don't mean to like play devil's advocate too much, but there is also the chance she's writing that. I mean, she wrote that and like she had planned on them reading this after this, and she hopes that that will get the previous four or the ejected four back into the room. Maybe I'm going a little too far with this.
どうやってここに置いたんだよ。この部屋には私たち8人以外には誰もいなかったんだぜ。
とにかくどうやってここに置いたのか、その方法は捨ておくぜ。とにかく犯人の狙いはたった一つ。
Yeah, getting more people out in the open. Unless it was a trick.
この鉄壁の書斎に疑心暗鬼を引き起こして、生贄の羊を俺たちの手で外へ放り出させることだったんだ。
だとしたら狙いは外へ出された人たちだ。
No, I'm worried it's a trap. I'm worried it's a trap. I'm really worried.
母さん、どうしよう。
What is Natsuhi gonna say?
あの4人が危ない。
It wasn't surprising at all that Aunt Natsuhi remained unpleasantly silent. Even if this was all a trap by the culprit, even if the four who had been chased out of the room were in danger, it had nothing to do with the safety of the four people in here. And there was no way to prove the innocence of the four people we'd chased out. If we're willing to let them die, then we shouldn't leave this room no matter what. That way is safest. Oh? What am I at? I'm at 51 minutes. I really don't want to do this, but I'm gonna stop the episode and I'm gonna pick it up next time. I was waiting for a stopping point because we got pretty far. Oh, that phone sound is just gonna continue, isn't it? Okay. I personally am gonna continue this, but it'll be another day for you guys. All right. I'll be right back. Good stuff. And I will see you next time. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.